My name is Najja.
And my name is Olivia Duver.
And this is WJAG-TV with your weekly school news.
Don't forget to order your yearbooks. They can be ordered for $75 and the price will increase again in March. As a reminder, you can order through our online ordering portal or bring cash or check to Mr. Ginsburg in room C207.
Students, remember to sign up for your AP exams by February 28th through the registration link on the Cedar Shoals website.
Up next, Alex Wells has a story on sophomore Ian Morton on his experience on the wrestling team.
As a person, I feel like it's made me stronger mentally as well as physically. It's kind of given me like a sense of like will, of like keep moving forward and like keep fighting, even if you know you're like on the ground. I've worked a lot to just work moves and get better at certain techniques and styles to where I can, you know, actually win a competition where before it was like I would just lose and learn from my mistakes.
Now here's sophomore Jacob Guntermann with a look into the civil rights field trip and the effect that it had on students and staff that attended.
I'm Jalen in the 10th grade, Jalen Eberhardt. We took a field trip to the Atlanta Civil Rights Museum in Atlanta, Georgia, established by the late Coretta Scott King. We basically took a tour of the building. You know, it was basically a trip so you can understand what happened back in the time period of the civil rights movement in the 20th century, like what went on with blacks and whites and the distribution of races and the separation of racism. I was moved because me personally, I had a great understanding of black history and, you know, the civil rights movement, but I had a better understanding for that and human rights and how everyone had the rights as a person, because even though slavery was over, it still gave you a great understanding on how, you know, people weren't treated as citizens, like couldn't vote and things like that, and you were able to see what happened during that time period. My favorite part of the trip was when I was just sitting watching the funeral of the late Dr. Martin Luther King and seeing the people at his funeral listening to his final sermon, and the things that he was saying was just very touching. Like and it was touching because you could basically hear what he's saying and how much justice he wants, and he just wanted peace for this land and this entire country, but not just the country, the world. And that's how he was talking in that sermon. I saw a lot of emotions. People letting their emotions pour out because it's very touching, you know, and it can move you in different ways. And not just emotions. I saw a lot of people surprised and they didn't know that, you know, it was going on. They knew that civil rights was going on, but they didn't know that it was that bad. And that's the thing that a lot of people took from it. Like, how can you tie this in, you know, to what's going on today?
Soccer conditioning for both boys and girls begins Monday, January 9th. Girls soccer tryouts begin January 17th at 4 p.m. Boys soccer tryouts begin January 16th at 1 p.m.
Now to Kayla Davenport with your weekly sports news and student features.
On Wednesday, January 4th at 4:30, the JV boys basketball team will play against Johnson in the Cedar Shoals Gymnasium. From 6:30 to 7, the varsity girls basketball team will play against Johnson as well. On Saturday, January 7th at 12 o'clock, the 9th grade JV boys will play at Johnson High School. At 2:30, the 9th grade JV boys will play versus Washington in the Cedar Shoals Gymnasium. From 4:30 to 5, the varsity girls basketball team will play against Washington in the Cedar Shoals Gymnasium as well. Again, my name is Kayla Davenport, and this has been your weekly sports news.
Seniors, please remember to pay your full balance if you have not already began paying. The balance due has now gone up to $100. Please see Mrs. Willis in room C203 to pay your dues.
Up next, we have Olivia and Elayna Gorshenin with a video on body positivity and self-confidence.
My anxiety is a constant daily struggle. It affects how I interact with my friends, and it affects my self-image. My anxiety makes me think that I am not good enough. No matter how hard I try, I still consider myself to be fat, gross, ugly. I'm always worried about how others see me and if I look okay. I never look at myself in the mirror and think positive things because of my social anxiety. I've come to realize that the way I see myself is vastly different from the way others actually see me. I never really stop and consider that I might just have an altered view of myself. When you let anxiety take over your mind and alter how you see yourself, you're not even fully living. You shouldn't have to worry about those minuscule things such as your looks. It's what's on the inside that counts. And when you come to realize that, it changes everything.
Again, my name is Najja,
And my name is Olivia Duver.
and this has been WJAG-TV with your weekly school news.
What's up, man? Howdy! Oh no! Egads! Wow, maybe I should buy a yearbook. Egads!